my girls they're all sitting at Panera Bread. They're all pumped up. They're watching it. And then we have a big guest event today. So we are super excited for this.
Yes.
And honestly, I have 3 topics to teach, and I could teach an hour on each of them. So I'm going to talk really fast, but all of the scripts and the main notes are actually already posted on the Facebook group. So feel free to just kind of jot down what you can, watch the replay, and I'm going to get going here. So the first thing is our business starts with bookings, but the only way to have a booking is to have leads. So in order to get leads, there's several different ways. And I'm going to just name some of them really quickly. First is bookings from bookings. The easiest way to run our business is when you're at a party, get a booking from a booking. The best way to do that, I find, is to have really cute wrapped gifts at the center of the table. And the first 2 or 3 people that say they're going to book a party from me, they get to take one of those gifts home. Those are not high-priced items because they're taking it home that day. You could also offer an incentive for booking that when you hold your party, you'll get a free compact if they're doing like a makeup appointment, or a discount on the charcoal mask, or if they have so many people there, they get a free charcoal mask if they're doing a beauty experience or a spa appointment. So the easiest way is book from bookings. The next is referrals, because you're already at a party. So not just make money and get recruits, but get future business from that party. You get your bookings and you get your referrals. So there are plenty of scripts out there. I'm not going to go into a referral script, but the back of the profile card, there's 15 spaces. I offer my guests, if they fill up all 15 spaces, they get a half off lip gloss or a half off mascara that day. It's amazing how many people will do that for a half off item. And remember, you only pay half of that item. So you're giving it to them at your cost. You're not losing anything, but you've just gained 15 names. Another way is daycare centers, and I'm just going to list them and then go into details about the other ones. Daycare centers, restaurants, stores, exercise facilities, chiropractors, there's wellness events, there's office of the week, there's vendor events, honoring working women, warm chatter, fish bowls, working women's portfolios. You could do a professional business portfolio. You could do a seasonal portfolio, like something with the new spring line. People don't know if we have new colors or not. You're just doing a new spring portfolio and you're giving out spring looks using the looks maybe from the lookbook. And there's scavenger hunts also. So there's so many different ways that I can't even name them all. But the techniques for your daycare centers, your restaurants, your stores, exercise facilities, they're going to all be the same. So I've posted some scripts, but really it's a very similar script and I just tweaked it slightly. So first you want to, if possible, go in person. So recently I've been doing a lot of daycare centers. So I took a day, I dressed up. You want to have your Mary Kay face on because you're representing your business. And if you walk in there and your hair's not perfect and your makeup isn't perfect and you're not wearing that outfit that makes you feel powerful, you're not going to have as effective of an opportunity talking to the person that owns the business, the manager or the director, depending on what kind of facility it is. So super important that you, if you're going in person, you look the part of a beauty consultant. And honestly, I think anytime you're dealing with the public, people want to see you if possible. Now, I am setting up some things to do in Boston, so I'm doing that over the phone, calling daycare centers and talking to them over the phone. But ideally, I've gone in person and I had 100% with the people who were the decision makers. And then I got a list of people to follow up with on Monday, and I'm going to call them back on Monday, and because they weren't the person to make that decision. So if you just joined us, you want to make sure that in the bottom corner of your screen that you tap on mute. And Trish, I can see you, so you might want to tap on video too, or just be careful where you go in your house at this point. So welcome, by the way. So just to present yourself really well, and I always wear something that makes me feel confident, because when you feel confident, everybody sees that confidence in you. So I'm skipping around on my notes here a little bit. So once you get there, you want to, if you're at a daycare center, you're going to ask for the owner or director. At a restaurant, it's going to be the owner or manager, but daycare centers, they're directors. You want to introduce yourself with a handshake and a smile, and then you're going to go right into your script. So the script for a daycare center is, hi, I'm Teri with Mary Kay, and our business, and because our mission, and I'm trying to read this and talk really fast, sorry, and because our mission is to enrich women's lives, we are partnering with daycare centers in the next few weeks to honor working moms and staff and take great care and why don't I just tell you what I say instead of reading it word for word? So if my script is slightly different than what you pull off the computer, it's because I can't read it. I have it memorized. I just say, I am here because our mission statement is to enrich women's lives. We would love to honor your customers, the working moms, and your staff who take great care of our kids every day with some pampering things. And I would love to come in. And I first say, did anyone contact you yet? And they say no. Great. Well, then I'm really glad I stopped. This is not going to cost you anything. It's absolutely free. I will come in and pass out. I use roses because they're very inexpensive on the woodenrosecompany.com. I usually buy 800 at a time. I think you can buy 100 for $15, but just watch the shipping cost. It might be worth it to go in with other people because they do charge a lot for shipping. But the roses end up being like 15 or 16 cents a piece. And you'll see why in a minute when we get into giving it out, why roses are so effective as well as very inexpensive. I say I'll pass out some roses and I'll give the women a chance to enter for pampering sessions and gift cards. And I like to come in on your busiest day so that we can pamper and reach out and honor the most of your customers. And I ask them what day that is. So I don't give them a choice. I really just say, so what day of the week would that be? I'd love to get that set up with you. I set that up, and then I ask them how many children will be here that day. Now, ideally, 80 children might only be 60 families, and I'd love to only give out 60 roses. But when you're looking at a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and you're letting them pick the flower from mom, it's really hard to say, only one of you gets to pick. So ideally, you try to have just one child pick, but you don't want to take away from their fun of being able to each give mom a rose. So it's 15 cents. It's not a big deal. You want to let them enjoy that. So when I get there the day of the event, I will have all kinds of supplies with me. I will have a vase of roses. They usually have a little table for you. If I was at a fitness center, maybe I might put a little display on the table, keeping it really simple, but just so it looks a little nicer. At a daycare center, I try to keep the amount of stuff on the table limited. I might lay some of the roses on the table because let's face it, little kids are going to want to touch and grab everything they can see. So you want to keep it limited. And I look to the children as they're coming out with their parents and I say, would you like to give mom a rose? And I put the vase down at their level and they can pick a rose out for mom. As they're selecting the rose, I look at the mother and say, we're also giving pampering sessions and gift cards to all, giving a chance to win pampering sessions and gift cards to the mom. And let's get you registered for that. I sometimes use the word beauty experiences depending on where I am, but moms coming home from work, picking up their kids, when they hear pampering, they love it. They sign up right away. If it's a dad, I will still look at the child and say, hey, would you like to take home a rose for mom? Would you like to take home a flower for mommy? And they usually are picking, and I just look at the man, because I don't want to assume he's the husband. I say, we're registering all the ladies to win pampering sessions and gift cards. You can go ahead and register her here. And I have him put down her contact information. So what I do is I have pink slips if it's a woman registering and blue slips if it's a man, so that when I make those phone calls, I know that I didn't actually meet her, that she was registered by whoever picked up the child that day. So I think it's helpful to know which slip is which. And just to have those words. When I was doing this last week with Jen, I was like, well, what do we say to the men? Because we were sitting there thinking, well, that might not be their wife. So just being able to look at the child and say, here, you can take home a rose for mom. And then looking at him and saying, we're registering all the women, you can go ahead and sign her up. On the slips, I keep them really simple. So at a daycare center, it's just their name, their cell phone number. Do they have a Mary Kay consultant? If so, who? I always ask those 4 questions on every single slip I have, but specifically because I don't want to steal someone else's customer. And sometimes the husbands have no clue, and you'll know that with the blue slip. So you can pre-qualify the woman when you call her to tell her she won. But I always want to know if because you'll see them hesitate. Some of them will be like, yeah, I have a consultant. And they'll be like, I don't know her name. I haven't talked to her in 5 years. Okay, well, if you haven't talked to her in 5 years and she hasn't sent you catalogs or facial you or anything, she really doesn't have a consultant, so she can go ahead and circle no. So I like having that question there because it gives me dialogue to ask her there, and I can pre-qualify her as whether or not she can be my customer or someone, or she needs to stay with her consultant if she truly has one. When I go to an exercise facility, I include ages there because you can be 18 and going into an exercise facility, and I just want to know if I'm dealing with an 18-year-old versus if I'm dealing with a 28-year-old when I go ahead and schedule my party. Because my 18-year-olds, honestly, if I can, I'll try to have them come to the center so that, or I try to encourage them to have people from 3 different areas of their life at the party so that I'm not dealing with a bunch of 18-year-olds. Because I know my daughter, if she had a party with a bunch of her girlfriends, they probably wouldn't spend a whole lot of money. And right now they're so focused on what they're doing, it would not be a good recruiting opportunity for me. So it would be good practice if I needed practice for a skincare class, but I would rather bring her and her girlfriends to the studio, let them have a good time, let them get pampered, but also be able to be with other people who might be great recruits or great potential customers. And that's not to say an 18-year-old can't be, but you'll have to talk to a lot more 18-year-olds to find that great recruit than if you're talking to 28-year-olds, just because you look at the target market. In a vendor booth, I include ages because you will not remember people, and it again helps me separate. And I also like to, at a vendor booth, put what city do they live in, especially if it's a large event. I do wine festivals that will pull in people from 2 hours away, and you might be a person that doesn't want to drive 2 hours for an appointment. So knowing that ahead of time is just going to be helpful for you. So when you go to a restaurant or a store, it's pretty much the same thing. You're going to go in and talk to the owner or manager. And I don't just say, is the owner or manager here? I look at the person there and I say, are you the owner or manager? And it's because if they are the owner or manager and you ask if that person's there, it's almost insulting to them that they don't look like they could be the owner or manager. And it's always flattering for the people who work there to feel like, oh, she thought I was the owner. She thought I was the manager. And you want to flatter people. Like, who doesn't want to feel good? So I'll just go in and talk to the owner or the manager, and I'll say something to the same effect, that we're appreciating and honoring women, and we'd love to do that with their customers. I will often purchase a store gift card or a restaurant gift card to offer with that, so they know up front, not only am I appreciating them, but someone is going to win that as the grand prize. And then several people will win pampering sessions and gift cards. I will often do chocolates in a store. I don't do chocolates at a restaurant because then you end up giving chocolates to everyone in the family, but women will often shop alone in stores, so it's not as many and it's less to carry. I do the roses in stores too, so you can choose. Chiropractors, as I mentioned earlier, is a great place. Again, go into a chiropractor. A lot of them will actually do customer appreciation events. So start off introducing yourself, handshake, fit makeup on, clothes, power outfit on, whatever it is, and just say, hey, do you do any kind of customer appreciation events? I'm with Mary Kay, and we love to pamper your customers, customer appreciation day events, or just on a regular day. So if they do events, you could schedule, because a lot of them will do like a ladies' night or a customer night, and they'll do chair massages, and they'll have different stations, and you can be one of those stations with your satin hands, your satin lips, and offering a drawing or passing out roses or chocolates, whatever. And if they don't do events, then you could just say, I would love to come in and appreciate your customers. And you would do it the same way you do at a store. For each customer that walks in, hi, we're appreciating all the customers here today. We'd love to give you a rose and a chance to win some pampering sessions and gift cards. And you hand them the slip. I don't say, would you like to? I just say, and we're giving away chances to win pampering sessions and gift cards. And I hand them my little clipboard with the slip on it. Another thing about chiropractors, a lot of them participate in wellness events. So in your conversation, as you're getting connected with that chiropractor and you're building that relationship, ask them if they do wellness events anywhere outside of their own office. And if so, ask for the contact person for that company. A lot of school districts will do them. Larger office companies will do them, because sometimes if they do a wellness event, they get a discount on their insurance. So it's something that a lot of companies do. So as you're at your parties, listen to, as people are telling what they do for a living, oh, who might be in a company that does a wellness event? Or who could I come to an office party of the week for? If she sounds like she works in an office with a bunch of women, when you're closing her out at her individual consultation, talk to her, say, I do office parties of the week. I would love to come and pamper you and your girlfriends at lunch one day. We could do satin hands. We could do satin lips, depending on availability at the sink. I would bring some goodies, and I would give out drawings for people to win free Mary Kay and pampering sessions. Who would I talk to about setting that up? So as you're with your customers, think about how they can help you connect with them again in the future, not only for their own appointments, but to schedule events that could help you generate more business. When you do the office party, if if she's not the person that you connect with, you just say the same thing to the office manager. I would love to come in and appreciate your employees. We can do a quick little satin hand treatment, satin lip treatment. I'll bring goodies, pizza. You decide what you want to bring based on how many people are going to be there, how expensive it would be. I will not be selling anything. I might have a display of products for people to look at if they want to, and I'll give them a chance to win some free Mary Kay. There's no obligation for them to sign up for anything, and I'll have a free rose or chocolates or cookies, whatever it is for everybody there. So that's just how you're going to contact the business. So again, you can see it's very similar each place you go to, how you talk to them. It's just tweaked a little bit. So the next category is honoring working women. And when I honor working women, I will have my roses. I'll have a pretty bag that's over my shoulder that tucks my clipboards and everything inside. And I will go up. And it's, honestly, you guys, the first time you do this, it's more fun to do it with a friend. I'll be totally honest. The first time I went out honoring working women, I was in DIQ. I was scared to death, but I was in DIQ, so I was highly motivated. So I went out and did it. And after I went to the first place, I felt so good about myself because I made women smile. I thought I was going to be bothering them, and I walked in and I said, "Hi, I'm with Mary Kay, and I'm just out honoring working women today." And sometimes I say hardworking women. I say, "Are you a hardworking woman?" And of course, of course they say yes. But I honor them. I say, "I would love to give you this rose. Which one do you want?" So I always have different colors with me, at least 2 different shades. So it's not like, "Would you like a rose?" It's, "I'd love to give you a rose today. Which one do you want?" I try to, if you haven't noticed already, ask questions that are either or questions, not a yes, no question. Because women, our brains are trained to protect us, so we tend to want to always say no. But if you ask them a question where they have to think something other than yes or no, their brain immediately will go to answer that question and not be thinking, "Well, I don't want a rose." They'll be like, "Oh, which one do I want, pink or red?" And they immediately go to answering that question instead of, "Well, no, I don't want a rose," or "Is there a catch?" Or they don't think about all that stuff. So which one do you want? I'm also giving away pampering sessions and gift cards. And if it's a large office, I will tell them everyone's going to receive one. And depending on how I draw her slips will depend on what she wins. That way I don't call each person and say, "Hey, you're the winner. Hey, you're the winner. Hey, you're the winner." And they go to work the next day and they all look at each other and say, "Hey, I thought I was the winner." They know up front they're all going to win something. And then depending on what it is, depending on how I draw their slip, depends on what, basically I change the gift certificates. And they don't know from one person to another that how much. So if you just joined us, in the bottom left corner of your screen, there is a little button. You can highlight it and click on it. It's a microphone, and you can mute yourself out. Also, if you're on video, you can mute out or block out the video portion too. So that's pretty much like going to big events and doing things as far as businesses and whatnot. Also, I put out fishbowls, and there are a ton of fishbowl scripts. You could keep your fishbowl script very similar to what we did with like Office Party of the Week. But what I have found is Michelle Cunningham has the easiest script in the world. And I'm going to just read it to you because it's pretty simple. She walks in, she says, "Hi, can I leave this here so people can enter to win?" And she's holding her box or her fishbowl. I like to decorate boxes. There's things you can order from Paper Mart. I forget what they're called, like a Gable box or something. I can't even remember. They're only like 30 cents, and they look like the Dunkin' Donut boxes. You can get something like that. Michael's, I know, sells white boxes with a lid that you can cut a hole in. You just want to make sure you're attaching slips to it and attaching a pen to it, and it all stays contained and it looks really pretty. I use, on Mary Kay's website, on InTouch, there are approved advertisements. So you're technically not supposed to just put Mary Kay's label on your box and say, register here to win a Mary Kay pampering session, because Mary Kay's a trademark. But you can take one of their advertisements that talks about the skincare or whatever and place that on the box, and there's a place you can change the words at the bottom. Instead of putting your name and website and phone number, you can put in there register, or you can make a bigger sign that says register to win a pampering session, and they'll know it's with Mary Kay. You might want to include on there must be 18 to win, or register, must be 18 to enter. I've seen online people that just put their, their little generic sign that they created and then their business card so people see it's Mary Kay. You have those options. You just want to not be using copyrighted Mary Kay name without using like their approved material. And they have some gorgeous advertisements on the website. So you can definitely cut one of those out and place it on your box, decorated real nice. And so she walks in and says, "Hi, can I leave this here for people to enter?" And then she says, thanks. You want to make sure, like I said, you have all of that stuff. It's nice to poke a hole in the box so it holds your pen so it's not laying on the counter. Ask them, where you can put the lead box, someplace where it's going to be noticed, and tell them you'll be back in a week to check on it. And you might say, I'm only going to leave it here for 2 weeks, or I'm only going to leave it here for 1 week. And then each time you go back, if it's doing well, say, hey, this is doing really well. My goal is to get 100 of these filled out in the next month. Can I leave it longer? And they'll decide if you can leave it longer or not. But that way you're checking on it. You have to go in and check on it. Now, ladies, I've tried the facial frames. I've found the lead boxes, at least for me personally, are getting better names. They're getting more responses than the texting to win a facial. So you can try either one. It's the same principle with the text to win a facial, text a keyword. I had pick me as my keyword for them to text, and then I could always search my phone for it. But truthfully, I find you get more quality leads from the slips of paper, and I could not tell you why. Places that you might go for leads to put your facial boxes out. Nail salons are great. Tanning salons are great. Places where people might have to wait. I have a really good one at an oil change place. It's not at all female oriented, but it's a 10-minute oil change. What are they going to do for 10 minutes? So it's a great thing. And they keep it nice. I've done it every week. You can check on them more often. And so if you're just joining us, hey, Amanda, you don't have to cover your phone. You can go to the bottom left corner of your screen, and there's actually a thing to mute out your video. And then it'll mute you out. If the person says, well, what is this box, or what are you doing? You can say, oh, I'm with Mary Kay, and we're giving away 100 free pampering sessions this month. So we made up these boxes for people to enter. Isn't it cool? Can I leave it here? I will, again, offer to give a pampering gift card for the store. So, Amanda, if you go to the bottom left corner of your screen, there should be a stop video. If you click on that, then you won't have to keep trying to hide. Amanda had some, if you could keep her in your thoughts and prayers, her basement was flooding last night. She was up till 3 a.m. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being on here. I'm sure it was not easy dealing with all that last night. So that's it for the fish bowls. I try not to use glass. Some people have some really cute glass ones. If you look at Michelle Cunningham, hers are all glass. I just worry about it getting knocked off and breaking. So I like to have something that I can also easily attach without a lot of tape showing the pen and the slips to it. And you can hole punch the slips and run a piece of curling ribbon or pretty cord through that and attach it to the box so that they stay together and people don't just use the slips for scratch paper. And there's a scavenger hunt, which I will post later on today. And you can do this alone or, again, with a friend. I still do things with consultants. I do things with other sister sales directors. It's sometimes just more fun. But realize if you have a very limited amount of time, it might be more advantageous for you to go alone because you don't have to split the names you get for whatever activity it is. For fish bowls, I would, if you're going to do it with a friend, decide this store is my fishbowl, this store is your fishbowl, so you're not splitting the names out of each of the fishbowls. But with the scavenger hunt, you just go, you go out and you can go with a friend or alone and say, hey, I'm in a scavenger hunt to find women that fit these categories. Would you mind looking to see if you fit one of these categories? And she'll read down the list and she'll put her name and phone number on there. And as she's doing it, you can tell her, I give away free makeup every week. I would love to enter you into a drawing to win some free makeup, or I give away free pampering sessions every week. May I go ahead and enter you into that drawing? Or can we use this, or I'm going to use this to enter you into that drawing. So that's another way to just go up to random women and start talking to them. I mentioned warm chatter. Warm chatter, just literally talking to people. It's not cold calling. You're not going to call them. A cold call is when you don't know the person. Warm chatter is you make them build a relationship with somebody. So I was at the post office literally last week, and I turned around, and the sharpest woman was standing there, and she had on this cute hat. And I started with a compliment. I love to start my warm chatters with a compliment, because who doesn't like to be complimented, and who isn't going to want to engage in that compliment? So I said, oh my gosh, I love your hat. That looks so cute on you. And we started talking. By the time we left the post office, she's booked. She's coming to my appointment this morning, and she's bringing a girlfriend, and she's super excited to be my face model. So I just said to her, I said, I would love for you to be a face model for me. And she was so flattered and so excited, and she thanked me so many times. And I gave her my business card. She gave me her business card. She made sure she put her cell phone number on it. I literally went out in the parking lot and I texted her because she said she'd be a face model. I texted her the details of it and saved her in my phone so I wouldn't lose that card or lose who she was. If you don't have business cards, or if you are a person that loses business cards, or you have a hard time asking somebody for their phone number, like you're still nervous about that, I have a digital business card. So I literally say, I would love to give you my business card. Oh my gosh, I'm all out of them. Can I send you my digital business card? And in order to send it, you get her phone number. So you text, you ask her, say, oh, can I have your textable number, your cell number? And you get it, send her the card. And then I always put, hi, it was great meeting you. In this case, I gave her my business card, but say, hi, I had given her a digital one. I would have been, hi Maggie, it was great meeting you at the post office. Look forward to you being a face model for me, Teri. And then I would sign it ISD. For me, that's Independent Sales Director. So you could do ISC. So that way, if I go do 100 things that day and my phone gets a ton of text messages and I forget all about Maggie, I can go home later that night or the next day and search on my phone ISD, because those are letters I don't normally put together. And anybody that I've warm chatted is going to pop up there. And I don't have to worry about little pieces of paper and losing things. So that's how I use digital business cards. So I think that covers everything I said I was going to cover on the list of generating leads. It's a lot, you guys, and there's still so many more ways, but it all works the same. So once you get your leads, you want to book them. And the key to booking is follow up, follow up, follow up. 25% of people make a second contact and then they stop. 12% will go to a third contact and then they stop. 10% make more than 3 contacts, but only 2% of the sales are made on the first contact. 3% are made on the second, 5% are made on the third, and 10% are made on the fourth. So that leaves 80% of sales and bookings happen on the 5th to the 12th contact. So if you're a person who's out there and you're trying once, and then you're trying again 2 weeks later, and maybe you're trying again another 2 weeks later, there's not enough consistency there. They're not remembering you, and you've only tried 3 times, so chances of you making a booking are only 5 chances out of 100. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to call 100 people a day to get 5 bookings, or 100 people a week to get 5 bookings. Like, I have more things I want to do with my time than be calling 100 people to get just 5 bookings. So we have something called a power booking system. We've taught on it before. I'm going to outline it. On the Facebook page, excuse me, there is a really cool tracking sheet. And for some reason, I printed it, and it's not in my pile of paper. So apparently it didn't make it to the printer. It has circles on it. It's divided into 3 columns. And those columns are for your first contact or your first set of contacts, your second set of contacts, and your third set of contacts. And basically the idea of power booking is you're going to, and I'm going to use the number 10 names. But honestly, if you're looking for directorship right now, you're looking to do the all-in DIQ promotion, all in with 8, you might be saying, oh, I'm not going to stop at 10 names. I'm going to go 20 names. Or I'm not going to stop until I book my 3 appointments today, or my 2 appointments today, or my 4 appointments, whatever your goal is. Like, honestly, if you have a big goal, go until you finish it. But for the purpose of teaching this system, I'm going to just use the number 10 to make it simple. So you come up with 30 names that you want to contact, and you'll write them on this sheet, and I'll do the first 10 in blue, the second 10 in red, and the next 10 in black. And that just tells me who I'm going to contact each day. So day 1, I'm going to send a text and a phone call to my blue people. And I say blue because they're written in blue ink. So I'll send a phone call, and whatever the script is, I put a ton of scripts for power booking, so it lays out everything to say each day. If you have something you already use and it's working, please don't change it. Whenever you have something that's working great, don't change it. Or if your director said, I really want you to use this, try that first, and you want to try something at least 10 times before you say, oh, this doesn't work. Okay, so I'm not trying to take away from what your director might be telling you, because they might have some other words they want you to use or whatever, but I want you to have something in case you don't have availability to that right now, or you don't know where to find that. So I will, let's say it's a booth winner. I will call her, and then I will text her. Actually, my booth winners, I send a text. Let me use a warm chatter. I'll call her, and then I'll text her. And I do that both on day 1. And there's a little place to write that I texted and I called her. And if I left a message, if we booked an appointment, if she said she wasn't interested, or if she said, call me back. And then on day 2, I'm going to call and then text all the red people. And I like to text them immediately because they just saw the voicemail come through if I didn't talk to them live. And they might be at work and they're curious, well, who is that? I don't know that number. And they're still looking at their phone. So if you send them that text, and I use text replacement, so it's really quick, 3 letters, and it sends the text, hey, I just called you, left you a great message about a pampering session that you won or a beauty experience that you won. Call or text me back as soon as you can, or call or text me back as soon as possible for details. I like to do it right away because then they're thinking about it and they see it, and you engage a lot of people. Honestly, I never used to want to call or text people at work. I get better results during the day with the texting piece when people are at work. And for phone calls, I get better results at night, but I do it all times of the day. When I have free, that's when I do it. So on day 1, I'll call and text my 10 blue people. On day 2, I'll call and text my 10 red people. And then on day 3, I'll call and text my 10 black people, okay? And again, this is based on the color of ink. So then we go to day 4. So it's a 9-day rotation. So on day 4, let's say there was 8 blue people that I didn't reach, but 2 that I scheduled. So now there's only 8 names there. So I pick 2 more names from my source of names, and I put them at the bottom of the sheet in blue. And I put them in blue so that I know that I'm calling them. Now I have no notes for them at all, so I know that I'm calling them with the set 1 script, and you'll be able to see this on the tracking sheet. It's really easy. But then there's 8 blue people that I'm on set 2 of my scripts, and all the scripts are on the same piece of paper, so it makes it super simple for you. And then on day 2, I have my red people. Let's say I need to replace 4 reds because a couple booked, a couple weren't interested, or they said call me in 3 months. So I have my 6 reds that are still in my original list, and at the bottom of my sheet I put 4 more red people, and I know that, okay, they're red, so I'm calling them on this rotation day. There's nothing filled out for column 1, so they're getting set 1, and my old people are getting set 2. And you can just track it. So by color coding the names, it's real simple. You know who you're calling. So I remember when I was working full-time, I wish I would have had this system. Because when I worked full-time, I was going crazy trying to figure out, who do I call? Who do I call? And I had little pieces of paper everywhere. Here you have it on one piece of paper. I know, oh, today's a blue day. Today's a red day. Today's a black day. And it makes it super simple to call and book those appointments. Okay, so that's power booking. It's often been called the 21-day booking challenge. It's not just a 21-day rotation. It literally, the way the numbers worked out, it took 21 days. You want to continue to do it all the time for the reasons I gave you at the beginning. So once you get it booked, how do you keep your appointments holding? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about next. Kim, how am I doing on time? She's muted out, so I'll give her.
Hi, Terry. You are at 8:50 right now, so you're doing great on time.
Okay, thanks. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, thanks. I'm loving this. I got a couple new ideas as you talked, and I think it's really important, as Terry said, when you go to do a daycare, that you ask if anybody has contacted them about honoring working women, because, you know, we don't all want to follow in. The daycare directors will be like, oh my gosh, you know, so just be kind and courteous and say, has anybody yet contacted you from Mary Kay about honoring working women? And that makes all the difference. So yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that 21-day system, you guys, it's what we did before we knew that it was a system. I mean, it really does work when you follow it, and it takes the emotion out of it, because it's like, I just have to call and text them and I don't have to worry. They may not respond, and that's okay. That's normal, you know? So thanks, Terry. You're doing an amazing job.
Thanks. With the daycare centers too, piggybacking on what Kim just said, I think when they hear me say, has anyone contacted you yet? That they think, oh, this is a big nationwide normal thing. And for us in Mary Kay, it's normal, but it's at periodic times. But they think like, wow, this is a great big promotion. So I think it's pretty good to do it, you know, asking that question also. So we're not stepping on each other's toes, plus we're connecting with her at a bigger level. So when you're booking appointments, so you have all these names on your power booking system, I cannot emphasize enough to use a script. I was one of those people. I was a rule follower, so I used a script. But there was times where when I was new and I didn't have my script in front of me, and I found I just started babbling. And I started saying all kinds of things that I got off the phone and thought, whoa, that wasn't so good. And there's times even today when I do something new, if I don't have my script in front of me, and yes, I still write scripts out and put them in front of me when I do a new type of booking or a new type of script. I have that in front of me so that I have that confidence and I'm not nervous about, oh, what if I forget what to say? Because we all get nervous. At every level, you guys, we all get nervous. So have your script. I like my scripts to finish with a question, especially phone or text, actually. What's better for you, day or night? What's easier for you? For me to come to you or for you to come to my studio in Cranberry Township? Whatever it is, I like to finish with a question because truly, as I said earlier in the call, your brain goes to answering questions. And I like to ask questions that are open-ended, not yes, no questions. You want to try to keep your scripts short, but you want them to also be intriguing. So words like you won, that's intriguing. You don't want to give too many details of every single thing they're going to get, but you want, if they want something, to get like the idea that this is going to be fun, that they're going to get something in it for them. People always want to know what's in it for me. Okay, so that kind of thing is going to be, you'll find that in all the scripts. When you have your script, it's going to help build confidence. Again, you want to always include something enticing, things that are enticing, in-home spa treatments, a mini microdermabrasion treatment, expert foundation matching. So if you're brand new and you're not doing beauty experiences and you're like scared to death to do makeup appointments or everything, expert foundation matching. You guys, it's so easy to match those CC creams. Like I've talked to people who've never matched foundation at all, and they can always narrow it down to 3 just based on the different shades of people. Start with the middle. If it's not good, go up or down 1. And as you build your skills, then you can build into the other liquid foundations. And it's really easy to do because there's so many different cheat sheets and systems to make it easy. So that's an easy thing. And when people want foundation, like I had a woman the other day, all she wanted was foundation. She's like, I just care about foundation. Well, she bought foundation, but she bought a bunch of other stuff because her skin and makeup looked so good that day. You want to go into your booking with the idea they will call you back. If you're sitting there going, nobody calls me back, guess what? Nobody's going to call you back. They hear it in your voice. Even on a text message, and I don't know how this works. Truly, I don't know how it works. When you expect people to text you back, you could use the same script on 2 different days. And if you're like, no one's going to text me today, or everyone's going to text me today, you will find you have less text messages returning on the day where he's like, no one's going to text me back, versus the day where you think everyone's going to text you back. So expect good things. Expect them to call you back. Don't say, if you want to call me back, I look forward to hearing from you. You're affirming that you expect them to call you back. Once you book the appointment with them, you want to make sure you pre-profile. And when I was brand new, I thought pre-profiling was just so I knew what products to have on hand. And yes, it makes it super simple when you get there and you have 6 guests and 3 are normal to dry and 3 are combination to oily. That makes it so easy to squirt out your trays and be ready. And it does help you. But pre-profiling is your way to get connected with that person. So I will dialogue with them. So I send them certain questions. Would you consider your face to be more oily, more dry, a combination of 2 of those, or none of the above? Do you have any allergies or sensitivities when it comes to facial products? If you could change anything about your skin, what would you want to change? And then they text me back their answers. No matter what they say, I continue the dialogue. So if what they said isn't very clear, I will ask questions. If they say, I have sensitive skin. When you say sensitive, do you mean you get acne and breakouts, or do you get redness, hives, itching, and burning? Because those are 2 different things. And women that are highly acne prone will think that they have sensitive skin. They're just using probably the wrong products. Our products are non-comedogenic, which means they're not going to clog your pores. Where 99% of the foundations out there will clog your pores. Our liquid foundation doesn't. It's amazing. So it's a great product then to say, oh, you're going to love our foundation because it's great for people with acne issues because it doesn't clog your pores. So you can dialogue with them. Whatever they tell you their issues are, let them know they will love our products. My goal when I pre-profile is to make a connection, make her know that I care about what we're putting on her face that day. I want her to hear from me that she's going to love the Miracle Set and blank. And that blank is whatever she said she wants to fix. I'm going to put that in there too. So, oh my gosh, you're going to love the Miracle Set and the Firming Eye Cream. You're going to be amazed at how smooth your skin feels and how bright underneath your eyes are. And I always piggyback the Miracle Set with the other product that she's interested in, because that puts in her mind, oh, the Miracle Set's something I want to try. And I want to try the Firming Eye Cream. More than likely, when you plant that seed, that's what she's going to take home with her from the party. So plant the seed in the pre-profile, the things you're bringing especially for her to try. Now, if it's a skincare class and she wants to try all kinds of eyeshadows, I let her know that there'll be an opportunity to set up a time to do that, but we're going to focus on great skincare, because then her makeup will look so much better. Because I don't want her to think that, oh, we're doing a big makeup party, but I sell up the skincare piece and let her know there's going to be an opportunity to talk about eyeshadows at a later point, and leave it at that. What Lauren, I know, does is she will ask people to Facebook her, become friends on Facebook, and then she can also kind of check out their family, know a little bit more about them, send them a message on Facebook, and make a personal connection that way. So I think that's a great idea. So once you get her booked, you pre-profile her. So she already knows you asked her questions about her skin, so she doesn't feel uncomfortable about then letting you talk to her friends, because she knows why. She has the idea, okay, she needs to have my stuff ready for my friends also. So then you text her or you talk to her and you tell her that you, well, I usually actually send a text, and I send her an invitation that she can send out to her girlfriends. And it basically reiterates the hostess program. So, and I'm not going to tell you my hostess program, because my hostess program might not excite you, and a hostess program is only good if it excites you. So if there's one that you love, use it. And if you don't like your hostess program, start asking people, what do you use? What are your results? And who do you want to ask? You want to ask somebody who has, like, the queen of sales every week at your unit meeting. Ask your director. Ask the red jackets. You always want to ask people whose position you want their advice, not somebody who's sitting next to you who you're like, well, I want to be up there. I don't want to be sitting here. So you want to go to somebody whose place you want to trade with, or somebody you know that's really gifted in that area. So the queen of sales at your weekly meetings is often going to be somebody who might have a great hostess program. And try different ones. You want to try something 10 times to know if you really like it or not, but you pick your hostess program. So I tell her in the text, so if you have 1 to 2 girlfriends, I will bring door prizes. If you have 3 or more, and I go into my quick hostess program, and if my hostess program's long, I might say you'll get free stuff, and then I'll attach a pic collage with my hostess program on it so that the text is short. And then in the next, and I say below, I'm going to text you an invitation that you can send out to your girlfriends. I text her the invitation. It has them RSVPing to me. And then I ask each of them about their skin. But then after I send her that text invite, I send her this like, oh, P.S. If 3 of your friends RSVP in the next 24 hours and come to your pampering session or come to your beauty experience, I will give you a free lip gloss or a free mascara. You guys, my size of my parties has gone up so much, and I've gotten my text, my guest list back within 24 hours because I'm doing that. It is so worth it to give a free lip gloss if you know that the party's going to hold and you know that it's not going to just be you and that girl sitting there. It's going to be you and 3 of her friends. So you can pick. If you want it to be 4 friends to give them a free lip gloss, pick 4. It's up to you, but give them that incentive because it gets it to hold. So, okay, so she's excited. She texts her friends, hey, I want to get free lip gloss. I need you to RSVP to this girl in 24 hours. Because I actually know that's what they say, because one actually accidentally sent me the text that she was trying to send out to her girlfriends. And right away, I started getting their information. So I have a place in my calendar where I'll put the girl's name, and then I'll put all of her friends' name. I pre-profile each of them. Same idea. Find out what they're excited about, what they want to try. Get them what they want to fix about their skin, and then tell them what they're going to get to try. I will bring that especially for you to try, or I'll bring that for you to try. I think you will love it. And I put the little emoji with the heart eyes. I finish every one of those pre-profiles with, I think you will love it, with the heart emoji. I don't do the kissy one because I think that's a little personal, but it's like a happy face with the hearts. I think it's amazing. And 95% of the time I get back, I'm so excited, I can't wait, or something to that effect. Or thank you for your time. I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet you. And you know what? Not only does that get them excited, But there's these little endorphins that go off in my brain that go, she's excited. I made her feel good. She knows that I care about what we're going to do that day. And you know what? I like to feel good too. So I like getting those responses back. Okay, so let me see where I'm at. So you've pre-profiled. So now you know that she has these 3 friends coming or 5 friends coming. As the profiles are coming back, I text her and say, hey, I've heard from this person, and this person. Should I hear from anybody else? I will also, if I hear from no one within 24 hours, I'll text her and say, hey, I wanted to make sure you got my invitation to text out to your girlfriends. Do you need me to resend it to you? Or I might call her and ask her that, because it might be she just got it and she forgot and she'll be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'll do it. And I usually do that, like, if I haven't heard from anybody in like 14 hours, hey, don't forget you have 10 more hours to get your 3 RSVPs in, so to get that free lip gloss. People will work for free product, because if they don't earn that free product, they feel like they're losing something and they don't want to lose anything. So they will do that. And it gets them excited again. So after I hear from her friends, I let her know, so-and-so is coming. These 3 people are coming. They're really excited to try the firming eye cream and the charcoal mask, or they're really excited to try the microdermabrasion and the miracle set. Is there anyone else you're expecting? A couple days before, I'll confirm again. I've heard from these people. Or are you expecting anyone else? Something that Jen O'Donnell taught me, and ladies, if you haven't heard, watch Jen O'Donnell, because she is moving with her business. To her unit, for those of you on here in her unit, you guys are rocking it out. You are hitting the scoreboard in the top 3 every single week. So, wow. I love watching you guys, and she and I are working a lot together and partnering up, and I'm learning so much from her. And one of the things she does, and I've added this, so if you've heard me talk about cross-confirming before and letting the hostess know about who's coming, that's not the last step. Okay, we've added another step. But letting her know who's coming, what's nice about that, and I didn't say, is, so say 3 friends are coming and all of a sudden her best friend cancels. But she knows these other 2 girls are coming and they're excited about the event. She's not going to cancel on them. You know, she'll just miss her best friend being there, but she's not going to cancel on the other 2. And often what happens is if our best friend cancels, we give up and we don't have the party. And sometimes it's hard to reset. So I love the cross-confirming, going back to her and saying, these are the people coming. They're excited to try this. You know, are you expecting anybody else? Or this is who I've heard from, or you've earned your lip gloss. Trying to keep as much dialogue with her as possible to keep that appointment in the forefront in her mind and keep her getting excited about, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a free lip gloss. Here's my website. Go on the website and pick it out so I can have it wrapped pretty for you when I get there. Like, it takes 2 seconds to do that. But she's so appreciative. I've had some people text me back, okay, are you sure I'm getting this free thing? Yeah, you're getting, as long as your girlfriends show up, you're getting the free thing. And they get so excited when you walk in with a little gift bag and some tissue paper and the lip gloss in there. So the cross-confirming is super important. But now what Jen has taught me to do is send a video. And you guys, I'll be honest, I've heard this before, but when I talked to her and I read her script, it was so easy. And I watch the video she sends and I'm like, oh, this isn't pushy at all. Because I'll be honest, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, oh, that might give them the wrong impression. And when I looked at what she sent and the wording and everything, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so not pushy at all. This is awesome. So I want to share this with you. So the day before the event, she'll confirm with the hostess and send the hostess a video. And then she'll confirm with each guest. And I have this really small, and this is new to me, so I apologize. I am going to read it. She will text them, looking forward to meeting you tomorrow at Joan's Beauty Experience or Joan's Pampering Session or whatever it is. I will have all the products on hand if you fall in love with anything. However, that's totally optional. This way people know, oh, I should bring money in case I like something. Because how many times have you had a party where they're like, oh, I didn't know I had to buy anything, or I didn't know I would want to buy anything, so I didn't bring my wallet. Well, they don't have to buy anything, but they're going to want to buy something. So just letting them have that little piece of information, they're coming prepared that if there's something they like, they can take it home with them that day. And then she says, however, that's totally optional. Sorry about that. I read that to you. Here's a quick video you can watch for extra tickets into my door prize drawing. Simple. Here's a quick video you can watch for extra tickets. And the one she did, I put my little script, actually it's her script, in the website, but it's on Kim's Facebook, or excuse me, her app. If you go under team building, it's the one with Jan Thetford and Heather Daniel Kent, and it says send this before a facial or party. I mean, it's labeled right like that. It has the little, you click on it, there's the little box in the upper right hand corner with the arrow. You can send it out to the person, or send it to yourself and get the link and copy it so that you can put it right inside that text for yourself. You guys, she is rocking it out with her unit. You guys are doing an amazing job. I'm sure you're all listening to what she's saying about sending these videos, because your team building is going out the roof, your production's going, and I know you are super close to earning another free car. So congratulations to you guys, and thanks for that tip, Jen. When you get to the appointment, then you know, as you're pre-profile, or as you're talking to the ladies individually or whatever, you know, find out who gets tickets for listening to the video. You can ask them what they think about it, or you can, when you're doing the marketing, have them share something from the video that impressed them and give them extra tickets that way. Either way, you're going to give them tickets. I like doing it the second way. If they can't think of anything to say, you could say, who else watched the video? What's one thing you remember about it? Just to kind of get an idea that they actually watched it. But the idea is to get them to start talking about all the great things about Mary Kay. So that helps you do the marketing when other people are marketing for you. Then you're going to do your whole party. You're going to sit down at your individual close and you're going to book them for their next appointment. This is where it's called full circle booking. When you're sitting there and you schedule her second appointment, in your phone you already have saved that text invitation. I send that to her immediately. I say, here's your invitation. Send that out to your girlfriends. If I hear back from 3 or more of them within the next 24 hours and they show to your appointment, you're going to get a free lip gloss or a free mascara like your girlfriend did tonight. You guys, she will go in the other room and she will start texting her other friends before she even leaves the party. You will have people that you're going to like getting pre-profiling text into you for RSVPs. I love it, because then you can go out to your car if it's not too late and you can reply back to them right away, or you can do it first thing the next day. But it's going to keep everything working full circle and make it so you don't have to work hard, but you can work smart and you can really grow your business. So Kim, that is all I have. You're still muted.
There we go. I got it. Thanks. I was saying to Bob, I'm like, Teri is such a rock star. Like she just does it. And you guys, so Teri, first of all, thank you for your excellence. Thank you for the way you lead your Pink Cadillac unit, and just, you know, putting that pink Cadillac in the Pittsburgh area. You guys, you know, when people see a pink Cadillac, they go, wow, that Mary Kay, it's super successful. And so we want all of our directors to be driving pink Cadillacs, whether they're in Erie, Uniontown, you know, Indiana, PA, wherever they are. We want everybody to be driving pink, because we want people to know Mary Kay is the most amazing company out there, and it's to be reckoned with. So know that everything you do, it helps your unit and it helps our area become an inner circle area. And our goal, is to have 18 directors this year in 2018, you guys. And so we're looking for those leaders who want to move. And as Teri was teaching, I'm like, you know, gosh, when I was a consultant, when I was a director building my business, we were just starting to do text messaging the last year as we were wrapping up our national area, you guys. I'm thinking we used to have to mail the coaching things to our hostess and then wait for her to then mail it to her guests. No wonder things fell apart. No wonder it took so much longer. And no wonder that women now can come into our company and they can move from being a brand new consultant to a national sales director within 2.5 years or 5 years. Or 8 years. It's whatever you want and what you focus on. And then how many people are you willing to see and share these products and love? So you guys, here's to a great week. Here's to your best week ever. Make a decision that that's the way it's going to be. Start working on your IPAs. If you're like, I'm not sure, call your director, because that's what she's there for. We love hearing from you. We get so excited when you text or Vox us. And chatter in our Facebook group, you know, in there about your wins and what did you love about Teri's training today. So that's really helpful as you guys all share, because somebody else will go, oh yeah, I remember she said that and I forgot. So go into our Facebook group and start commenting on it underneath this link for this video today. All right. Love you guys. God bless you all. And here's to a fabulous week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now I got to figure out how to stop it. Oh, the end button. That would be good. Bye, you guys.